Well, welcome to here, the Mantis garden. As you might have heard, we're moving to a different place, and this room was always temporary. The enclosures I use for the larger mantis and some of the smaller adults are might as well get one, jars like this, because they're, pretty handy and the right size. And you can do a bit of stuff in them, but this one I haven't, obviously. Look at that, wibbling around. It's got a mantis in as well. So we've decided we're going to keep these jars because they are cheap and I need a hell of a lot of them. So the ones we've got, I'm going to be tarting up. Here's one I did earlier, a bit Blue Peter. To this sort of array. Not sure you can see that, but I'm going to do a little video so you can see it anyway. So I'm going to be doing all those before we get into the new place, because we haven't got the shelves up yet. The timber's going this week. There's going to be a room built 9 foot by 9 foot, and then there's going to be another part of the room which is about another 14 foot, which is going to be where the shelves are with the mantis. The room is just for the crap, as we have lots of crap, i.e. corkback, food, and so many other things, jars, enclosures, tanks, you name it. That's all going to go in this little room to the side, and everything else will be shelved out from floor to ceiling for the mantis. A lot of that you probably will never see because, I might show it. Will be the tiny 4-ounce mantis pots with nymphs in. No point showing you them, all the nymphs look the same. There's just rows and rows and nymphs, blah, 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 and I just tripped over my own tongue. But what you will see is probably the enclosures with things like the mantis in, jumping spiders, and I'm letting Liliana, the wife, have a shelf of her own to put tarantulas on. Ugh. But she'll be doing those videos and not me, thankfully, because I know where the door is and I'm going to leave every time she opens the lid on one. That sounds good to me. And I also have other things, lots and lots of isopod. I've got so many species of isopod that I'm falling over them in here. It's just ridiculous. We've got them in other places, got them all over the way, everywhere. Millipedes. I have huge cultures of springtails. Like, we're talking 14, 15 litre tubs of springtails at a time, not tiny little jars like I've shown before. I've shown them before simply to say, this is how you keep springtails if you're making the odd terrarium here and there, but obviously I need a lot more springtails than that. So we have massive boxes full of springtail cultures, etc. And I have lots of other massive things full of other cultures. Just fruit flies is just ridiculous. Along with other stuff like waxworms, mealworms, etc. So I'm probably going onto the larger scale of things and showing you how I do those things, rather than just, here's a tank, I'm going to show you a rehouse or an unboxing, because they've really been done just for this video, or, this particular video, for the videos, rather, something that was more relatable than, here's this 7 massive boxes I've got that we're going to unbox today. We're just like little bits of things, really. So today, as I said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make them all, I'm going to make loads of them, but I'm going to make one on the camera now and show you how I can make them, how quick they are made, and how easy they are to make. And they do look pretty cool. You can stuff a plant in them, and not for a mantis, it doesn't really matter, especially an adult mantis. They don't care what you put in there. The wife and I have just come back from the woods. We went there and we spent tops 20 minutes there or so, and I've got a couple of bags and boxes of things that we're going to be using, and I'll show you them in a second. So let's get on with making the enclosure. This is my temporary table setup for doing this. Can't wait to get in the other room. It's a lot higher, a lot bigger, I'll be able to show you things a lot better. This is, look how sad this is. This looked pretty cool actually when it was first made. Had little steps in it and everything. But since then, I think this one's about a year old. It's gone to pot. That Mantis don't look too happy in there either. So I'm going to be improving this little house for this girl, because she will shed very soon and she's going to be big mama. So I want a nice little house for her. So what I'm going to do is just put her aside 1 second. And I'm going to show you what I got from the woods. And the first thing I'm going to do, this is something everybody who's serious and wants to go in the woods and collect stuff needs, which is a rucksack with lots of different things. You have to forgive the wife, she's got the lurgy. I think she's got the plague. Have you got the plague? Is that, yeah? Yeah, she's definitely got the plague. She's not even answering me. I just picked up a few handfuls of moss and I put them in these nice little live food boxes. If Kyle watches this, he'll understand what I mean. We had a chat about this the other day, is what you can use these cricket boxes for or whatever. And this is pretty handy, because even if I don't use these today, I can simply give them a water spray and shove them somewhere on a windowsill or something, and they will carry on staying green and looking nice. I particularly like this. This, I use my handy, where is it, paint scraper, and I scraped some stuff up, and this has lots of little woodland type plants in it. I think that's bittercress, and there's some other things in there. Yeah, they'll do. Mantis are pretty awesome for that. They really don't care. Here's another cute thing. This is a wife was insisting I pick this up, which I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I can get this lid off. Which is a nice little bit of moss that has mushrooms in it, which aren't bad. Mushrooms are not bad. People go, oh, that's mold, that's fungus. No, it's not bad. Mushrooms are good. If mushrooms grow in your terrarium, it simply means your terrarium's doing well. I'm pretty sure I had 3 of those. I can only find 2. Ah, here's another one. Yep, 3 of those. So they might come in handy. I don't know. I may use them, may not use them. Might use them just in a terrarium. Not sure yet. Not only did we get these bits of moss, we need a background. So, can we see that? I don't know if you can see that there. I'm going to move this camera. Give me a sec. Shaky cam. And here we have lots of bark with moss on it. Some I'm going to give a quick wash to, some I won't. These are feathers, you can see, and not mould. But yeah, this is bark. And there's tons of it in here, even little bits like this. Lots and lots and lots of bark with moss on it. Look at it all. And there's actually different species of moss on much of this bark. So I'm going to give it a quick rinse, and then we're going to be using that. And she's put this dog treat in here, I think. I don't know what kind of size of that. Anyway, it's not good for what this is, but I'm going to chuck that in my ice pod bin, because then I'm sure they'll like this. I'm going to chuck it in one of the ice pod bins for them. And in the meanwhile, we have some other things that I pulled up. Look at that. A nice piece of moss. Comes with its own little ash tree. And I'm pretty sure we had another one with a hawthorn on it. Another tiny one. There it is. There it is. A little bit of moss with a little hawthorn on it, which again, free plants, free moss, free mushrooms, free bark, everything's free. The jars are about £2.50 a piece, so that's the only thing we're paying for at the moment. So let's get into it right now. So the first thing I obviously have to do is save this girl. This is a female Sphodra Mantis lineola, or African lined mantis, if you like. The first thing we're going to do is, oh, she doesn't like that. Come on, fatty. Are you having a free? It's up now. Right. The first thing I'm going to do is put her somewhere, and I'm going to give her the wife. There you go. There you go. Oh. No, get off. Sorry, didn't want to leave me. So, what I'm going to do is get everything out of here. That's like good rock, Sam, actually. I use them for something. I don't know what. And this is just hanging. Look at that chunk of whatever it is. Horrible. Dried up. And that's what this was for. Look at that. Had a false bottom and everything in there. Look. You've got mesh in it. False bottom, carbon, everything. There's nobody else in there, is there? No random isopods. No. See, I can use this again. It's not a big deal. It's perfect for isopods, actually. It's got, look at that. Loads of little white wood broken into it. That'd be great, that. Use an isopod. I'm not. So, I'm going to get off. Look at this. And I'm going to clean this jar up, first of all. And see what we can do. Okay, so I've got this clean now, as you see. And I found 2 pieces of bark that are to my liking. And this one, if you notice, goes all the way to the end, or more or less. Won't make too much difference, providing it's close to the end. Now, you can glue these in. I'm not going to glue these particular ones in. I'm going to trap them with substrate rather than glue them in. This can be a work of art. It's quite difficult without getting the moss covered in this crap. So I'm just going to put this back in here. That's why I'm in it. It's probably pretty good for the moss as well. You can't find moss like this in Michigan, I've heard. In the USA. According to my friend there. He has some terrible moss in Michigan. Haven't you, Steve? No names. Anyway, what we're going to do is pop this in here. Should be more or less what we're taking out, to be honest. And with a bit of luck, that will trap our... It's not wet, so it might fall down dry. Yeah, bits of it's fallen down dry. I could glue that, or I could just leave it like that. This saves me putting a stick in the background. Like you've seen Mantis enclosures, I'm sure, where you've got, they use the is it 32 ounce cup, and they put a stick in, and that's your lot. Well, I don't really like that. I don't really approve of that. So I prefer to go for the nice looking sort of thing, a woodland look. And as I've already got 5 or 6 woodland ones done with ferns and all sorts of things in them, I figured that we'll do them all that way. So let's chuck this moss in here. It's very difficult because I can't really see. This can be a problem if you're dropping things like crickets in, because they will hide in this. That looks a bit worse for wear, doesn't it? Or is it just bent? I think it's just bent over this one. So we'll leave it there like that. Or should we turn it? I think I'll turn it round. Let it lean on something else instead of the front. Yeah. Let's tamp that down a bit. Like so. That's pretty much just soil in there. But because that's just soil in there, and I don't want soil in there, I'm going to take bits of white wood that I've hacked up, that have nice little bits of moss in, and I'm going to shove them wherever there is a bit of clay or soil. I've chucked tons of them in here, in this bag. Now I want them, I can't find any. There's one with a slug on it, that's nice, isn't it? Didn't wash that too well. Right. Put that there. Look at that lovely piece of bark with moss on it, so I'm going to use that, I think, as well. Just
for the hell of it, just because it looks pretty cool. And there. And I can also build up heights doing it this way. There's some more moss, random bits of moss that I'm just going to stick in the bottom here. Now because this was a big chunk of clay from the woods, there's going to be things that'll probably grow out of this as soon as we get it into the light and the warmth. Things will start growing, which is pretty cool if you ask me. I really like that part about it. Now, I get a bit more moss, just shove it in here like this. Stop the mantis. If you've got an inquisitive mantis or a dopey mantis, we don't want him crawling down the back. And then you're going to rip it all apart to get him out. So I'll just shove this moss in here, like so. That stops them crawling down the back. And now, if you see the lids, all I've done is drilled an hole in it, 80mm hole in it, got some window mesh, and hot glued it. Actually, Gorilla glued it, but there you go. I know how much people like hot glue, so I'm going to say hot glue, just for you. And then we're going to pop the lid on, and there we have a little woodland type thing going on there, instead of a jar and a stick. I'll show you that much better in a minute. And this is what it basically looks like. I'm going to make a bunch more of these and pop the mantis in, and they're ready to go on my shelf. And happy mantis, I should imagine. And it looks a lot better for me to look at, even though I don't really need them for what I use the mantis for. But I'd rather look at this than than a 32-ounce pot with a stick in it. Tell me what you think. See you next time.